Yo guys, what is good? It's your boy John Wong here, back again with another video. And today we're unboxing the sneaker of the year. Alright, so I know that the year isn't exactly over yet, and I don't exactly have the right to call these a sneaker of the year just yet, but in my opinion, this is literally the best sneaker release that I think we're gonna get in the entire year of 2024. Now that could change depending on other sneaker releases that have yet to come, but so far in 2024, this is the best that we have seen so far. Now I literally pretty much say this in every video now, but in the year 2024, I haven't been impressed with that many sneaker releases, but this is a sneaker release that I have had my eyes on for a while. I'm just surprised that I even wanted it to begin with. So enough of me talking, let's take out the box and let's get to it. So we're actually gonna unbox it upside down, just because it's easier, and also there's more suspense for me at least. You guys already know what the shoe is by the title, but yeah, I'm just so excited. Now this came in the mail last night. I didn't have time to film it, and I really want to see what these shoes look like in hand. Sheesh, man. We got a Jordan box, and for those of you guys who know Jordans well, this is obviously one of the most iconic retro Jordan boxes. Alright, so before I take the shoes out of the box, I actually scored a W on sneakers when these released. And honestly, I don't think it was too hard to cop these sneakers. Now, these were incredibly widely stocked. They basically launched them in a whole bunch of different sneaker stores. I don't know about today, but when I checked them on Monday, I literally saw, Snipes, I saw Hibbett Sports, I saw a lot of other retailers still having these shoes in hand, almost a full size one, which was crazy. And overall, I was just excited to get my size at ease on sneakers. So enough of me talking, let's open this box in 3, 2, 1. Of course, we do have the wrapping paper. And then in 3, 2, 1. Sheesh! Oh man! Wow. I finally get to see these in hand, and I am happy. Wow. As you guys can see, we do have the Jordan 4s in the military blue colorway. Some people might consider this to be industrial blue. Some people don't want to admit that these are basically the military blues just because they're so different from the 2012 version, but we'll get into that in a bit. Alright, so now that we got the turntable all set up, I'm gonna talk about the shoe and why I got it. So when news dropped that these were releasing this year, I wasn't exactly excited at first. I mean, I'm not really a Jordan 4 person. I already have a pair of 4s in my collection, obviously the Lightning 4s. And I thought I never really needed another pair. I mean, don't get me wrong, Jordan 4s are an iconic sneaker. I feel like everyone should have them in their rotation, but for me, it's a little bit too chunky. And also, at least my pair for the Lightning 4s aren't that comfortable. So I've never really had the best experiences with the Jordan 4. I still like my pair, don't get me wrong, but I never thought that I would get a second pair or at least a double up. And yeah, I do understand the hype behind the Jordan 4s, especially in this military blue colorway. I mean, it is one of the OG Jordan 4 colorways that released back in 1989. And a lot of people just love the nostalgia behind it. Also, it's a super clean looking sneaker. Now, for those of you guys who don't know, the last time that the military blues released were back in 2012. But the blue was actually a lot brighter. Now for this iteration, they went back to that darker tone of military blue, and they changed the name to industrial blue. I don't know why they did that, because even on the sneaker tag, as you guys see, it does say military blue. Now a lot of people didn't like this darker tone of blue. A lot of people liked that 2012 colorway more, just because it popped, it was more iconic. But I think we do have to accept the fact that when the original 1989 pair dropped with that military blue colorway, colorway, the tone of blue was more similar to this shade rather than the 2012 pair. So initially I didn't really care too much about the sneaker. I didn't really even consider copying at first, but over time I started watching more sneaker reviews of the shoe and how they look on feet, how they pair with other outfits. It's just something I like to do when sneakers are releasing. I like to watch early releases, early reviews of the sneaker just to get people's opinion. But the more I saw these on feet and how they pair with outfits, the more I started to fall in love with them. I mean, blue is honestly one of the most wearable colors to ever exist when it comes to sneakers. And this shade of blue is just so neutral that, come on, this sneaker basically goes with anything that you pair them with. And in my opinion, I do like this darker shade of blue because it makes the sneaker all the more easier to wear with other outfits. So yeah, after a while, I started to consider, yeah, maybe this might be a worthy cop after all. And then after I heard rumors that this was gonna be a widely stocked release, I was like, okay, I'm gonna go for them, and if I don't, I won't be mad. Plus, they're not even going for that much on resale, so if I really wanted a pair, I could just go on StockX and maybe pay like $20 or $30 over retail price. And on May 4th, I went for them, and I got lucky, and I was really grateful that sneakers blessed me with a W. So in the time that I'm filming this, they actually restocked the military blues on sneakers, and they wiped out instantly. Right now on StockX, they're going for about $230 on the market, which is not a bad price for resale, especially for a Jordan 4. Again, I'm just so impressed by how hot this sneaker is and how easy it was to get and how affordable it is on the resale market. I feel like we often see sneakers nowadays going for little to nothing on the resale market, but they're sneakers that are not really a big deal. They're not that hype, but these, we're literally seeing these fly off shelves, and they're so affordable. I feel like this makes for the perfect sneaker if you're trying to be in the shoe game. Again, you're looking at a really iconic sneaker that goes great with everything, and it's affordable. So now that I've given my take on why I copped the military blue 4s, I'm gonna go into the shoe itself and talk about the different features that it has. So first off, in going into the name of the military blue Jordan 4s, we do have that military blue colorway going throughout in the midsole, the heel area, the tongue tab, as well as the cage area. Now, what's iconic about the Jordan 4s is that they come with this cage feature that obviously hooks onto your laces, and it just makes for a really clean looking pair of basketball or even lifestyle sneakers. Now for this pair, the cage material is actually made out of this firm rubber. Now it's not plastic because you can actually kind of bend it, but it's not super flimsy either. It's a little bit different from my Lightning Jordan 4s because on that pair, I believe it is more of a foam material, and that can actually tear off. This is much more sturdy. I don't think that this will break. Now again, this rubberized material is also seen on the back tab of the sneaker, which also makes for an iconic Jordan 4 feature as well, as we see this big chunky tail right here. Now even though some Jordan 4s do have the Jumpman on the back, any OG Jordan 4 colorway needs to have that Nike Air on the back. This is just what makes the sneaker hot, and everyone can agree with that. Now going back into the upper of the sneaker, we do have a primarily leather upper. I would say this leather is, again, not the best, but it's kind of soft. However, moving closer to the toe box of the sneaker, we do have a nubuck mudguard. Now this shoe isn't actually all white. That nubuck material is actually more of like a muted gray. So again, it's not like an all white sneaker, but it's supposed to look more like a neutral kind of shoe, and I love that all the more. I feel like all white sneakers are a little bit played out, but when you have this little hint of gray to it, I mean, it's kind of counterintuitive because we know that the color gray typically represents age and the oldness of things, but when it comes to this muted kind of gray, it just looks clean. I don't know how else to put it, but this just looks good in my opinion. I'm pretty sure you can see the contrast between the white on the upper leather and then the gray on the nubuck. And then moving over to the tongue area, we have this netted material, once again, that is also iconic for a Jordan 4. I feel like when you think of a Jordan 4, you would typically think of the cage area as well as the netting. Now this netting area is made out of a rubber material, and below that netting we do have a mesh lining inside, and that's supposed to provide breathability for when you wear the shoe, obviously. Going on to the tongue tab of the sneaker, we do have the Jumpman Flight logo, and again, that's in that military blue colorway. And then moving on to the laces, we do have a pair of flat white laces. Now this sneaker doesn't come with any additional laces, but when it comes to these white laces, it's more of like a flat white, not really much of a clean tone. I'm not sure if that's because of quality control, but again, it complements the shoe pretty well. Going into the insole of the sneaker, we do have that military blue once again, as well as the Nike Air written in white. To be honest, I feel like Jordan 4 insoles are not the best. They're just not soft and they're really thin, which obviously makes for an uncomfortable shoe. I mean, that's just my opinion and you guys can disagree with me. I just feel like Jordan 4s are just not a comfortable sneaker whatsoever. Some people might think that they're the most comfortable shoe to ever exist, but I just feel like there's definitely a lot of sneakers that you can wear where your feet will thank you for. And then going back to the midsole of the sneaker, we do have the iconic air unit that is basically featured in every single Jordan 4 that we see. On top of that, we also have a white colored rubber midsole. And then finally on the outsole, we do have the traditional Jordan 4 outsole, which looks super nice in that military blue colorway. Now, some things I wanted to talk about are their quality control. Obviously, given that this is a wide stock release, we're gonna see a lot of pairs surfacing throughout the sneaker market. However, we see that whenever companies start manufacturing tons of pairs out there, we start to see an inconsistency in the quality control, which means that sometimes the quality of sneakers might not be up to par, which may deter people from liking the sneaker. I think one issue that a lot of people don't like about the quality control of the sneaker is first, this Widow's Peak, as you guys can see right here. I feel like it's something small, but I can understand why it bothers a lot of sneakerheads. It's just an extra piece of nubuck just sticking out. I kind of want to take it off, but I don't want to mess up the sneaker. Now, one thing that I did notice when I unboxed these before was that these came with crease marks already in the toe box. Now, I do think that has to do with the inserts not being put in correctly, but after putting in some crease protectors and then shoe trees, I feel like it should go back to normal. I mean, it's not too big of a deal, but you know, whenever you get a fresh pair of sneakers, it's kind of a bad sign if you already see that they're creased. So yeah, I would say quality control is not the best when it comes to this release, but I guess that's what you get when you mix such a large manufacturing size with a widely coveted sneaker. My turntable just died, which is really sad. I cannot wait to bust these on feet. I mean, guys, I'm literally being 100% real when I say that you can literally bust out these sneakers with any single outfit and they'll just look good. I feel like this shoe is something that you can wear year round too. It doesn't matter what season you're in. This shoe is always gonna look clean. Now, this is definitely gonna be a contender for the sneaker of the year on a lot of people's lists. For me, this is definitely going to be a number one, obviously, unless something else comes along the way. But I could definitely see this sneaker being in my top 3 nonetheless. Alright guys, that pretty much wraps up what I have for today's video. Now, I would love for you guys to leave a comment down below. What are your thoughts on the military Jordan Blues? Sorry, let me backtrack. What are your thoughts on the Jordan 4 military blues? Let me know down in the comments whether you like them or not. Now, if you guys liked the video, please give it a big thumbs up. And if you guys want to hear more from me, smash the subscribe button because I'm hoping that I can get more sneaker reviews of 2024 in for your pleasure and for my sake. With all that being said, these are the Jordan 4 military blues, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace!